Let's get ready for Monday Mortgage Minute with your hosts, Tom McNamara and Bruce Woodburn.
All right.
Good morning, Bruce.
How are you?
Man, I'm doing unbelievable. How are you?
I'm doing really good. Good. Hope you had a good weekend. It looks like everybody's getting prepped for this storm coming in. I hope it's not too terribly bad, but I have a feeling the West Coast is going to get the brunt of it.
Yeah, for sure. The West Coast definitely going to get a lot, and then I think it'll go up through Jax. I hope we don't get too much here, but I mean, I know I'm prepped. I'm prepared. All my properties, I've notified all my tenants, to put lawn furniture away and keep, get the debris out of the, out of the middle of the yard and that kind of stuff, right? Speaking of that, man, insurance. So I've got a closing here in like an hour. That I've got to head out to. But man, getting insurance, if you weren't ahead of it and bound last week, you might be in a little trouble if you got a closing today or tomorrow or Wednesday.
Yep. I sent out a notice on Friday to make sure that anybody that was closing within the next week or so bound insurance. You cannot wait around for that. I have seen so many closings put off, and if there's any damage, they may not close at all. So you've got to go ahead and get your insurance bound. That does not mean just calling. That means physically paying for the policy up front. Typically, we don't see people pay for policies up front because we collect an escrow at the closing table. Mm-hmm. But if you want to bind insurance, you've got to physically pay for the policy and sign the documents. So that is not something you want to play around with. And then we've got, not only do we have this tropical storm looming out there that could potentially turn into a hurricane, they're saying a possible Category 3 even hitting Big Bend of Florida. And I'm not sure what it's going to do across the middle of the state, but that's a significant storm. And then you've got people making claims everywhere with insurance companies that don't even know if they want to stay in Florida to begin with.
I know. It's I tell you, insurance is a real problem. But somebody the other day brought up to me. I found it interesting because I complained that my insurance has doubled in the last 3 years, right? But in the last 5 years, the value of my house has doubled. So I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't complain as much. I mean, they have to collect money based on the amount of potential damage that there's going to be, and I know construction costs are through the roof. Literally, right?
Well, there's a lot of legislation that's being passed right now for assignment of policies and assignment of your rights over. They've eliminated. There's some legislation coming in that's going to limit these claim companies or public adjusters from taking on the assignments of benefits.
Right.
But we still have an issue with it. But it does look like we will start bringing on some new carriers, depending on really what happens, I think, over the next few days here.
Yeah.
But and then what I see people is making frivolous claims like you needed a new roof already, and now you got a branch that did some damage to some of your shingles, and you're wanting a new $20,000 roof. And you know what? You just might get the new roof. But then what's going to happen is your insurance company is going to cancel your policy. Then you might not be able to get insurance anymore. So you have to really decide whether this is truly worth the effort or not.
I know. And I know they share information too about who's made claims and such, right?
Oh, for sure. Absolutely. Every insurance company, you can't hide an insurance claim from one company and hope that the next one doesn't know. They're going to know right away.
Yeah. And, I do believe, if I remember right, I don't know if it was passed or if it's proposed, but the legislation, my understanding is going to be, they're going to start prorating the roof, right? So, to your point, if you have a 15-year-old roof and it gets damaged, they're not going to give you a new roof for free. They're going to prorate it based on a life expectancy. Now,
as they really should. I
think so too. I'm going through that with my insurance company right now.
They've been doing it with the tires on my car for years. I don't see any reason why they can't do it for a roof.
As a matter of fact, speaking of that, I mean, on my primary residence, I keep a reasonably low
deductible.
deductible, I think like $2,500. But on my rental properties, I go to $5,000, and even above that, like I had a bathroom that I could have easily claimed, probably cost me 8 or 9 grand, and I just bid it, man. I fixed it all myself. I didn't file an insurance claim just because I don't want my rates to go up across all my properties just because I make a
And
claim
they
on
will. It won't just happen to one. It's going to happen to all of them because now you are a claimant and you're going to be you're going to be on the watch list. You'll be on the naughty list for Christmas time. I'm pretty sure of that.
Yeah, I know.
So yeah, I agree with that. High deductibles and don't make frivolous claims. It's just not worth it. We
Yeah.
also had a lot of activity in the bond market, and as you guys know that listen to this show, mortgage rates are tied to the bond market, not to the Fed rate, not to prime rate. It does impact it, but more indirectly. But we
Mhm.
saw a little bit of a recovery in the bond market. I think they're just looking for some stability. And I think that 1 week we're getting trampled on by interest rates, and they're driving up, and the next week they tend to tailor down a little bit. But I don't anticipate that we're going to see lower interest rates at any time soon. And I do believe that the Fed's probably going to bump up the Fed rate at least one more time this year. I'm pretty confident that that's going to happen.
You think just one more time, or
I think that potentially two more times. We have a September meeting, we have an October, November meeting, and then we have a December meeting. And look at Jerome Powell just went on the news on Friday, and just by his utterances of we could potentially have to have another increase because inflation's just not under control, those things cause a reaction in the market right away.
I'll tell
Now,
you, I
fortunately for
think
us, it didn't hit us hard, but we don't know what the repercussions from that are going to be either.
I got you. Yeah, I think the inflation thing, it's lagging so much because people are still spending, but they're spending on credit cards. I don't know if you saw that last week there was a report that we
Yeah.
topped $1 trillion of credit card debt, right? And so people
Well, I think all you have to do is call one of these credit companies and they just wipe out that debt for you now, don't they? Like you can charge it up on your credit card and then you don't have to pay
is
for
that
it.
how it works now?
I'm thinking this is what I'm hearing on TV. Don't know if it's really true or not. But listen, I'm a person that my parents taught me if you buy it, you pay for it, right? That's just the way it goes for me.
Yep.
So I don't believe whether it's an insurance company or a hospital, I don't believe in ever being cheating the system. I don't take advantage of
No.
people, and I don't think other people should either. I know that some people may say, well, it's just the insurance company. They deserve it. They've been putting the screws to me for years. Maybe that's true, but we all have to have a conscience. And I do believe karma will come back and get you.
For sure it will.
Right.
So awesome. Well, hey man, do you have an update for us on like activity? Like is your activity on mortgage applications up,
Well,
down,
it's
sideways?
interesting being that that all the down payment assistance programs are mostly, not all of them, but mostly on hold right now.
Right.
There's no more money
Mhm.
for hometown heroes. So the first time home buyer market has dwindled off a little bit. I'm finding that a lot of people that are making calls right now are the ones that are truly struggling with their credit. You still have a segment of the market, like the baby boomers are buying homes, but the millennials have backed off a little bit because they just don't have the money to be able to put into a transaction. Now, we just opened up at Cross Country Mortgage a new 100% FHA loan is available. The restrictions are a little bit more stringent than a typical FHA loan, but there are products available for those that may want to see if they could fit into some of those unique products that are available. But here's the way I look at this right now. I think the majority of people are sitting on the sidelines right now because of one thing, and that's because of interest rates being higher and inflation is crushing their budget. So they may qualify for the payment, but they don't feel like they can really squeeze that much money out of their paycheck. So they're holding off. On the other hand, if you really look at it, now would be the best time to buy because the market is relatively flat right
Mhm.
now. And I don't expect that we're going to see more than a 1.5 to 2% appreciation, other than in like Lakeland and like Tampa market and things where things are really just going crazy. But I think that buying now and refinancing later, it sounds like a cliche and we've heard it before, but I will tell you, if you are a first-time home buyer and you think that you're going to have an opportunity to buy a home when interest rates drop to the fives, it's not going to happen because you're going to have so much activity in the market. Everybody that's rushing in that can put 20% down will outbid you every time.
Yep, absolutely.
So
Hey, I want to dig into that FHA 100% thing, but I really got, like I mentioned, I got a closing. I really got to get on it.
yep, I know you do.
Let's chat on
Listen, we
that
got a
next
lot
week.
covered today. Everybody needs to be safe, buckle down, hunker down, be safe during this storm. And if you need to shop insurance or you need a roof company, call me. I'm a great connector. I've got really good people that I've worked with.
Absolutely.
Hey, I hope you have a great day. Congratulations. I know you got a big closing today.
Thanks, man. Have a great day.
Yeah. Yeah, you too.